Welcome back to my channel, The Coin Spot. Today is best top 5 coins, one you want to miss. We're diving into the world of United States coins. Please don't skip this video, so let's get it started. Top 1. The 1996 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin, including full historical, design, technical, and collectible information written in long-form paragraphs. As you requested, introduction and historical background. The 1996 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin is a standard circulating denomination of the British monetary system and forms part of the modern decimal currency system introduced in the United Kingdom in 1971. This transition from the old pounds, shillings, and pence system to the decimal system was a major milestone in British monetary history. Since that time, the 1 penny coin has undergone several changes in terms of material composition, design, and usage, reflecting broader economic shifts such as inflation, metal prices, and evolving minting technologies. The 1996 coin specifically belongs to the period when Queen Elizabeth II was reigning as monarch, and it features the third portrait of her, a widely recognized effigy that symbolized continuity, dignity, and the modernization of the British coinage. The 1996 issue is part of the broader series of coins struck by the Royal Mint, and though it's a relatively common coin, it remains significant in numismatic circles due to its historical context and design features. Design details and artistic elements. The obverse, front, of the 1996 1 penny coin features the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was designed by Raphael David Maklauf and first introduced in 1985. In this portrait, the Queen is shown wearing the George IV state diadem, a crown famously adorned with diamonds and often worn for the state opening of Parliament. The effigy is characterized by a more mature but idealized representation of the Queen, with softly defined facial features and a calm, composed expression. Around the Queen's portrait is the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1996 inch, which stands for Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, translating to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This reflects the traditional British monarchical titles passed down through centuries and underscores the religious and sovereign authority held by the monarch in the United Kingdom. The reverse, back, of the coin was designed by Christopher Ironside, a respected artist and engraver responsible for the reverse designs of the original decimal coins introduced in 1971. The design features a crowned portcullis with chains, which is a heraldic emblem long associated with the British Parliament and the Palace of Westminster. This symbol has medieval roots, often used as a gate of defense in fortifications, but over time it became a symbol of British constitutional governance. The portcullis is topped with a crown to signify royal authority over Parliament, and its inclusion on the penny symbolizes the constitutional relationship between the monarch and the legislative body. The inscription, 1 penny, arches above the portcullis, while the denomination, 1, appears below. The entire design is enclosed within a beaded circle, which adds a classical finish and echoes the design elements of earlier British coins' physical composition and specifications. The 1996 1 penny coin has very specific physical characteristics that were standardized by the Royal Mint. The coin is round in shape with a diameter of 20.32 millimeters and a weight of approximately 3.56 grams. The thickness is around 1.52 millimeters, and it has a plain edge. The most notable change that had occurred by the time this coin was issued was the change in metal composition. Originally, when the decimal penny was introduced in 1971, it was made from bronze, an alloy of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. However, due to rising copper prices in the early 1990s, the Royal Mint switched to a more economical alternative. From September 1992 onwards, the penny was made from copper-plated steel, which is cheaper and also gives the coin magnetic properties. Therefore, the 1996 1 penny coin is magnetic, unlike its earlier bronze predecessors. This change was primarily economic but also helped in coin sorting and vending machine compatibility, as steel is detectable by magnetism circulation and mintage information. The 1996 1 penny coin had a large mintage, with over 723 million coins produced for general circulation. This high mintage means the coin is very common and not considered rare by collectors. It was issued at a time when 1 penny coins were still heavily used in everyday transactions, especially for low-cost items or as part of exact change. Despite its low face value, the 1 penny has retained its role in the British currency system. Though its practical use has been questioned in recent years due to inflation and the decreasing value of such small denominations, the coin was widely circulated across the United Kingdom and can still be found in circulation today, although with wear. Due to age and use. The fact that so many were minted makes it unlikely to have high numismatic value in ordinary circulated condition, but it still holds interest as a representation of British economic and monetary policy of the 1990s collector's value and variance. In terms of collector interest, the 1996 1p coin is generally low in monetary value unless it is in uncirculated, proof, or mint condition. Most circulated examples sell for their face value or slightly above, depending on condition. However, some proof versions of the 1996 1p coin were issued as part of Royal Mint proof sets. These coins were struck using specially prepared dies and polished blanks, resulting in a higher quality finish with sharp detail and mirror-like surfaces. Additionally, sterling silver proof versions of the coin were also issued for collectors. These are far rarer and can command significantly higher prices, sometimes several pounds or more depending on the demand, the quality, and whether they come in original packaging with a certificate of authenticity. Coins in brilliant uncirculated condition, especially those taken from Royal Mint annual sets, also have added collector interest. These are often sold by coin dealers and can be found online or at numismatic stores. Top 2. The 1994 Elizabeth II 1p coin from the United Kingdom. Its history, design, technical specs, circulation, rarity and value, and where one might find or sell them, stores, as you asked. If you want pictures later, I can send those to historical context and introduction. The 1994 1p coin is part of the British decimal coinage system, which was introduced in 1971 when the UK switched from pounds, shillings and pence to a system based on 100 pence in £1. This coin belongs to the era of Queen Elizabeth II, specifically her third portrait, also called the Maklauf portrait, which was designed by Raphael David Maklauf and first used in 1985. During this period, many of the UK's lower denomination coins, including the penny and 2 pence, had already had the more expensive bronze compositions replaced with copper-plated steel since 1992 because of rising metal costs, especially copper. Thus, by 1994, the 1p coin was made from copper-plated steel. That means it has a steel core with a thin outer layer of copper plating. This makes it magnetic, at least enough to be attracted by strong magnets, and less costly to produce than earlier non-steel bronze versions. The 1994 penny reflects both this economic adaptation and the artistic continuity of the monarchy's coinage design. Obverse and reverse details. On the obverse, front, side, the design shows a right-facing bust of Queen Elizabeth II, wearing the George IV state diadem, along with earrings and a pearl necklace. This version of her portrait is the Maklauf effigy. Around the portrait appears the Latin legend, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1994. The letters stand for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Often, in use on the truncation of the neck, very small letters, are the initials RDM, Raphael David Maklauf, the designer, though this is a small detail and sometimes worn off in coins that have been in circulation. On the reverse side, the design is of a crowned portcullis with chains, inside a beaded circle. The portcullis is a stylized gate historically associated with the Palace of Westminster, which houses the UK Parliament, and is topped with a crown to symbolize royal authority. Above the portcullis is the inscription 1p, and below is the numeral 1. The edge is plain. The design, reverse, is by Christopher Ironside, who is responsible for many of the standard decimal reverse designs. Technical specifications and mintage. The physical and production details are as follows. The 1994 1p coin has a diameter of 20.32 millimeters and a mass of about 3.56 grams. Its thickness is often recorded as about 1.65 millimeters. The edge is smooth. The coin is round in shape and uses the copper-plated steel composition. Because of the steel core, it is magnetic. The copper plating gives the familiar copper color, though the plating can wear off over time, especially on the high points of the coin, showing the steel underneath. In terms of mintage and how many were made, about 843.834 million coins were struck for general circulation in 1994. Some sources round that to about 844 million or 844.1 million when including coins in mint or uncirculated sets. Because the mintage is so high, this coin is very common in circulation. The mintage makes it one of the more everyday coins of its time. Circulation and usage. During the 1990s, the 1p was still widely used in daily transactions in the UK. Although inflation eroded much of its purchasing power, small denominations remained important for exact change, low-cost items, and for accumulating coinage change. Because the coin is still legal tender, it continues to circulate in parallel with newer coins unless removed by minting changes. One interesting point. UK law limits how much one can force someone to accept in 1p or 2p coins in settlement of a debt. Retailers can refuse payment in these coins beyond a total of 20 pence. Over time, coins will accumulate wear, scratches, loss of detail on the portrait or lettering, copper plating wearing away, which affects appearance and collector value. Rarity, value and collectability. Because of its high mintage, a 1994 1-penny coin is not rare, especially in circulated condition. Most such coins are common, and many are still around in change, piggy banks, etc. For collectors, condition is everything. Coins in uncirculated condition, brilliant uncirculated or proof/mint set versions will carry premiums. According to sources, the usual value for a 1994 penny, in typical circulated condition, is very low, often only slightly above face value. Descriptions often list values in the range of 13 cents to 49 cents depending on the condition. If you have an uncirculated coin, sharp detail, no wear, full copper color, or one from a mint set, it might fetch more among collectors. There are proof quality or brilliant uncirculated set coins from 1994 that were specially made. These are more desirable. One example is the 1994 annual standard proof red coin set from the Royal Mint, which includes the 1p among other denominations. These proofs are struck on specially prepared blanks with more polished surfaces. Varieties errors are also of interest. Sometimes collectors look for misstrikes, double dies, plating faults, or unusual contact marks. However, I did not find well-documented rare varieties specifically for the 1994 1p. Any particularly good example of an error might have extra value, depending on how noticeable or dramatic the error is. Where to buy, sell in stores. Marketplaces. If you're looking to acquire or sell a 1994 1-penny coin, here are places and strategies. Online numismatic marketplaces. Websites like Numista, Foronum, Coin Hunter, and Online Coin Club often list UK coins for sale, including 1994 pennies. These listings can range from single circulated coins to mint set or proof coins. Royal Mint and official sets. The UK's Royal Mint issues proof sets, mint sets, and special collector's editions. The 1994 standard proof red set is one such item. If one has original packaging and certificate, the value tends to be higher. Auction sites. General marketplaces. eBay UK and international eBay, vCoins, legacy auctions, etc. are places where collectors and dealers list coins. Be careful with grading condition claims. Some coins might be overpriced if sellers don't account for condition or commonness. Local coin dealers and coin shops. If you live in the UK or a region with good coin dealers, visiting a local store can allow you to inspect condition in hand. Dealers may trade coins individually or as part of bulk lots. Coin fairs, collector shows. These are good places to see many coins in different grades, negotiate price, and get advice. Top 3. The 1993 Elizabeth II 1-penny coin from the United Kingdom with full technical specs, history, design, value, and where you might find or buy, sell them. If you prefer shorter summaries or specific parts, I can focus those to introduction and historical background. The 1993 1-penny coin is part of the British decimal coinage system. The UK adopted decimal currency on February 15, 1971, replacing the old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. This coin belongs to the era of Queen Elizabeth II and is among the series produced after the metal changes that were made due to rising costs of copper. By 1992, the Royal Mint switched its lower denomination coins, such as the penny, from bronze to copper-plated steel. So the 1993 penny reflects both the continuity of British coinage tradition and the necessity of adapting to economic pressures for cost of metals. By 1993, the penny was well stabilized in its copper-plated steel form, circulating widely in everyday use, in change, small purchases, etc. Its design had been relatively consistent for decades, with the obverse portrait and reverse portcullis design being well recognized by the public. Although inflation had eroded much of the purchasing power of such a small denomination, pennies remained important for exact sums and were still fully legal. Tender design and artistic details on the obverse, front, side of the 1993 penny is the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which was designed by Raphael David Maklauf. In this design, she is shown facing right, wearing the George IV state diadem, along with pearl earrings and a necklace. The Latin inscription around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1993, that stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The letters RDM appear very small, incuse, on the truncation of the neck as the artist's initials. Over time in circulated coins, that detail may be worn off or less visible. The reverse, back, design is by Christopher Ironside and features a crowned portcullis with chains, which is derived from the badge of Henry VII and strongly associated with the Palace of Westminster. Above this portcullis is the inscription 1 penny, and below it the numeral 1. The entire design is enclosed in a beaded circle, which adds decorative formality. The coin's edge is plain technical specifications and mintage. Some of the key physical specifications: metal composition, copper-plated steel, a steel core with copper plating. Weight approximately 3.56 grams. Diameter 20.32 millimeters. Thickness around 1.65 millimeters. Edge plain with no reading. Mintage and issue statistics: the number of 1993 pennies produced for general circulation is about 602,590,000. There are also proof mint/uncirculated set versions. The 1993 proof coin collection included the 1p in proof quality, and there was a brilliant uncirculated coin collection among others because millions of the coins were made, especially for circulation. This coin is considered very common. Circulation, usage, legal. Tender and condition: the 1993 1 penny, being copper-plated steel, is magnetic unlike older bronze pennies. Over time in circulation, the copper plating may wear off in places, revealing the steel underneath, which may discolor or rust if exposed to moisture. Coins that are handled a lot will show wear, smoothing of raised details, dulling of the plating, scratches, nicks. The coin remains legal tender. However, for debts, retailers or persons are not obligated to accept large numbers of 1p coins. There is a limit to how many 1p/2p coins can be required to settle a debt. Collectors often prefer coins in brilliant uncirculated, BU, condition, or proof coins, with mirror-like fields and sharp detail. These versions are less worn, maintain plating better, and have greater appeal, value, and collectability. In terms of value, because of its commonness, a 1993 1 penny in usual circulated condition is not highly valuable. It's usually worth somewhat above face value only if the condition is very good, if the plating is largely intact, and if it shows sharp detail. Some catalogs list its value in circulated condition in the range of 27 cents to 53 cents. In Europe, proof or uncirculated set versions are worth more. For example, a proof, high-grade specimen coin can command a higher price. One auction listing shows a 1993 proof 1p, with RDE graded PR68 RD by a grading service, selling for around $31.55. Uncirculated coins from mint sets carry premiums compared to circulated ones. The price depends heavily on condition, packaging, whether it's certified, etc. Rarity: the coin is classed very common in most collector catalogs. Unless there is an error, minting defect, misstrike, unusual variety, a standard 1993 1p is unlikely to be very valuable beyond modest collector interest. Catalog and identifiers: some of the catalog numbers and identifiers used by collectors in the KM catalog, Krauss and Mischler. The 1993 1 penny is KM 935A. It is also listed under FO or Foronum catalog entries, etc. Where to buy: sell in stores/marketplaces if you are looking to buy or sell a 1993 Elizabeth II penny. Here are typical places and tips: online auction sites, eBay UK, eBay International. Many sellers list circulated, uncirculated, proof examples. Make sure to check condition, photos, grading, shipping costs. Specialist coin dealers, numismatic dealers in the UK and internationally. Sites like Numista, Foronum, Coin Hunter, Last Dodo, etc. often list such coins. Mint official sets: the Royal Mint issues proof sets, brilliant uncirculated sets. 1993 had such sets. If the coin is part of an original sealed set, with certificate, or proof packaging, value is higher. Coin fairs, local coin shops. If near UK or other countries with active coin shops, you can inspect in hand, see condition, etc. Online classified second-hand marketplaces. Some coins appear on Bob Shop, Last Dodo, or marketplaces in countries outside UK where collectors import them when selling. Highlight: high condition, minimal wear, sharp plating, original mint set or proof designation if applicable. When buying, request good photos. Consult completed sales to gauge market price. Check seller's reputation. Top 4: the 1992 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin from the United Kingdom, covering history, design, technical specs, varieties, collector value, and where stores, dealers you might find them. If you want current prices in your local currency or nearby shops, I can try to pull those too. Historical and contextual background: the year 1992 marks a turning point for the British 1 penny coin. Up until September 1992, UK pennies were made of bronze, approximately 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, 0.5% tin. However, rising world metal prices, especially copper, caused the cost of production to surge. To control those costs, the Royal Mint decided to change the coin's composition. Thus, from September 1992 onward, the 1 penny coin was struck with a steel core plated with copper-plated steel. This change made the new coins magnetic, unlike earlier bronze issues. So coins dated 1992 come in two types, some struck before the change, bronze, and others after or with a steel/copper-plated variant. Circulation issues after the change are copper-plated steel. Some proof/mint set coins from 1992 retained bronze. This dual status makes 1992 pennies a little more interesting to collectors, since depending on type their composition differs. The switch was part of broader economic pressures in the late 20th century, reflecting inflation, metal price volatility, and the need to maintain affordable costs of minting. To the everyday person in the UK, the penny still looked much the same, but with the steel core the coin behaves differently, magnetically, and the copper plating can wear off with handling, exposing steel design and artistic features. The 1992 penny belongs to the coinage bearing the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael David Maklauf, which had been introduced in 1985. On the obverse, the Queen is shown in right profile, wearing the George IV state diadem, the crown used in state openings of Parliament, along with earrings and a necklace. Surrounding that portrait is the traditional Latin inscription Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. FOD 1992, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. The designer's initials, RDM, Raphael David Maklauf, appear very small, incuse, on the neck truncation of the bust. On the reverse side is the classic crowned portcullis with chains, a design by Christopher Ironside, which has long been associated with UK decimal coinage. The portcullis, a gate, is symbolic of the Palace of Westminster, British Parliament. The inscription 1 penny is above, and the numeral 1 beneath, all enclosed within a beaded circle. The edge of the coin is plain, smooth, without reeds or any milling. Physical specifications and minting details here are the technical specifications for the 1992 UK 1 penny, particularly for the post-change version. Material composition: copper-in steel. Pre-September 1992, in certain proof/mint set coins, bronze composition. Weight: approximate 3.56 grams. Diameter 20.32 millimeters. Thickness: about 1.65 millimeters for the copper-plated steel version. The older bronze version thickness is slightly less, 1.52 mm, before the change. Edge: plain, smooth. No reeded or writing mint, Royal Mint, specifically in Lantricent, Wales mintage figures for the copper-plated steel circulating issues OBUT 1992, a bill out 253,867,000 coins were struck total mintage, including proof/brilliant uncirculated sets etc., is about 254,007,747 coins. There are also a small number of bronze specimens from 1992 in proof and mint set issues. These are much scarcer than the steel ones because of the high circulation mintage of the steel 1992 penny. It is very common. The bronze specimens are rarer varieties, and notable details since 1992 is the transition year between bronze and copper-plated steel. There are a few points of interest for collectors: bronze versus steel. As mentioned, proof and set coins from 1992 are often bronze. The bulk of circulating coins are steel with copper plating. Thus collectors look for bronze examples for higher value die varieties. There are small die variances, e.g. in where some coins have raised dots at the junctions of the portcullis bars, while others have small incuse circles. These subtle features are sometimes used by collectors to differentiate types within the 1992 issue. Mint set proof issues coins included in brilliant uncirculated sets, or proof quality coins, often have sharper detail, less where more vivid or clean copper plating. Their mintage is much smaller, so condition and packaging, original box, certificate, significantly affect their collectible value and collectability. Because the 1992 copper-plated steel pennies are very numerous, most examples in circulated condition are only worth slightly more than face value unless the coin is in uncirculated or proof condition, or is one of the rare bronze variants. Condition is crucial. A piece with crisp detail, intact copper plating, minimal wear, original mint set packaging will command a significantly higher price compared to a well-worn example. Typical values: circulated steel 1992 penny modest, often in the range of a few cents pence over face value. Uncirculated BU proof, or those in mint/brilliant sets, higher. Some listings show value up to several euros dollars depending on condition. Bronze proof special issue 1992 pennies are scarcer and more collectible. Those are more desirable and may fetch more among collectors' stores where to buy and sell. If you want to buy or sell a 1992 Elizabeth II 1 penny, here are good places, dealers, and tips. Online coin dealers marketplaces, for example, Vcoins has listings. I found one listing for a 1992 copper-plated steel penny on Vcoins by a dealer. Corner numismatic catalogs and websites. Sites like Foronum, Online Coin Club give good reference values and often have listings or links to sellers. You can check for sales sections. Their auction sites, eBay UK, eBay International, often have coins in various conditions. Be sure to inspect photos, verify condition, plating, whether it's steel or bronze, or whether it's from a mint set. Coin shops and fairs. Local coin dealers in the UK or internationally might carry such coins, especially the more common steel ones. Rarer bronze proofs might be more specialized. Collector shows or online forums. Sites like Numista, Connect. Collector forums often have members who sell/trade. Useful because you can often negotiate and get detailed info. Authenticity and condition verification. When buying, ensure you know whether the coin is steel or bronze, whether it's BU proof, whether the plating is intact, whether the coin has been clean. Check for die variety features, etc. Packaging for set/proof coins often adds value. Top 5. The 1971 Elizabeth II 1 penny coin of the UK. Design, history, specs, collector interest, etc. Plus where you might find or buy. Sell them if you want. I can also include recent sale prices or Pakistani market info. Historical context and significance. The year 1971 is a landmark in British monetary history. On February 15, 1971, decimal day, the United Kingdom officially switched from its old system of pounds, shillings and pence, where there were 240 old pence in a pound, to a decimal currency system in which 100 new pence make a pound. As part of that change, new coin denominations were introduced, among them the 1 new penny, 1p, coin. The 1971 1 penny is the first one struck under the new decimal system, replacing or complementing older coins of roughly equivalent value, not exactly 1-to-1, since the system changed. Because it was one of the first issues of a brand new system, the 1971 1p has sentimental, historic, and symbolic importance among coin collectors and to the public more generally. At the time, to avoid confusion with the old pennies, the reverse inscription on coins of the new system carried the word new, so the reverse read new penny. This new was later dropped in 1982, when the public was more familiar with decimal currency design, obverse and reverse details. On the obverse, front, side, the 1971 new penny features the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. In this portrait, the Queen is shown facing right, wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. The legend around the portrait reads, Elizabeth II D.G. Reg. F.A.D. 1971. The Latin abbreviations mean Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This portrait design was used on the new decimal coins from their start in 1971 until 1984. The reverse, back, was designed by Christopher Ironside. The design shows a crowned portcullis with chains, a stylized gate design drawn from the Tudor badge of Henry VII, and symbolically associated with the Palace of Westminster, the seat of British Parliament. Above that is the inscription New Penny, and below the numeral 1 indicating its value. The edge of the coin is plain physical specifications and composition. The 1971 1 penny coin has these technical characteristics. Composition: bronze. The alloy is about 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. At that time, copper metal was still used for small denominations. Weight: approximately 3.56 grams. Diameter: about 20.30 millimeters. Thickness: 1.52 millimeters. Edge: plain. These physical specifications are identical to those used for new penny coins from 1971 through the early 1990s. The bronze makes the coin non-magnetic and has a characteristic warm copper color. Mintage and commonness: the 1971 1 penny had an extremely large mintage, making it very common in circulation. According to Numista and other numismatic sources, about 1,521,666,250 coins were struck for general circulation in that year. Because so many were produced, most 1971 pennies in circulated condition are abundant. That means that unless one has a coin with exceptional condition, its collector's value above face value tends to be modest. The sheer number ensures that even today many survive in pocket change, collections, etc. Collector interest, variance, and value. Although common, the 1971 new penny still has interest among collectors for various reasons. First-year issue. Collectors often prize coins from the first year of a new coinage system. In this case, 1971 is the debut year of the decimal 1p, which gives it a historic cachet. Proof set. Special mint issues. There was a 1971 proof set issued by the Royal Mint, which included this new penny. The proof set had a much lower mintage than the circulating coins, making those versions more collectible. According to sources, the proof set mintage was 350,000. Condition matters. Coins in brilliant uncirculated or mint state condition, sharp detail, full original bronze color, little wear or environmental damage are much more valuable than well-worn circulation coins. Toning or oxidation may affect appearance. Cleaning often reduces value. Variance errors. There is no widely accepted rare die error or variant for the 1971 1p that drastically increases value. Some sellers may claim special or rare ones, but those are often overstated value. In normal circulated condition, this coin is only worth a bit more than face value if sold to collectors, depending on condition. For example, listings of circulated 1971 pennies often sell for a few pence or a few tenths of British pounds when condition is good. But proof or mint examples, or coins in very good condition, may fetch noticeably higher. The more pristine ones, or those from proof sets, can sometimes go for several pounds, depending on demand, collector interest, and preservation changes over time and legal tender after its introduction. Some changes affected this and other decimal coins. The new penny was used from 1971 until 1982 to distinguish from old pre-decimal pennies. In 1982, the new was dropped, so from then on the inscription became simply 1 penny. The metal composition remained bronze until September 1992, after which UK pennies and 2p coins were made from copper-plated steel because of rising metal costs. From that date onward, new pennies were magnetic. The 1971 bronze one is non-magnetic. The 1971 penny is still legal tender in the UK, as are other decimal coins of subsequent years. That means it may be used in transactions, though in many cases the value or condition makes it more of a collector's item than a coin likely to circulate frequently. Where to buy/sell and stores. Marketplaces. If you want to buy or sell a 1971 new penny, here are places and tips: online auction sites, eBay, Vcoins, heritage auctions, etc. Many collectors list coins there. You can filter by mint state, proof, etc. Numismatic coin dealer shops. Dealers in the UK or internationally who specialize in British coinage. They often have stock of older decimal coins, including early issues like 1971. Visiting a dealer allows you to inspect the coin's condition in hand. Royal Mint official mint sets. Occasionally the Royal Mint or associated official dealers have proof sets or special editions for sale or resale. Original 1971 proof sets, if still intact, are particularly valuable. Collector marketplaces. Forums. Sites like Numista, Foronum, CoinTalk, etc., where collectors trade coins. You may find better deals or be able to negotiate, especially for coins in higher grades. Coin fairs. Shows. In the UK and elsewhere, coin fairs are good places to view many coins, compare conditions, and find good deals when buying. Pay attention to condition: original bronze color versus discolored cleaned, whether the new is clearly legible, edge condition, striking sharpness, surface marks if proof or mint set status, whether original packaging and certificate are included. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe on my channel for more videos.